And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We're simulcasting today, so we welcome those tuning in on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, as well as on Instagram. Have a special show that's coming up for you guys today. We're going to be speaking with Ari Wells, as well as Chanelle Coleman Wesley. She'll be joining us shortly to talk about how they've been able to use their platforms to motivate and inspire others, but also some upcoming events that you guys can help to support as well. I want to say hello to you guys already coming in on IG. I see you, Iris Bowling. Hello to you. Good to be to see you, Felicia Brookins. Good to be to see you, Literary Ambassador. Good to be to see you over there on IG as well. Glad you could join us, Robert Helm. Hello to you. Appreciate you being with us as well, Miss Queenie. Glad to be able to see you. I'm glad you told me who that was, Miss Queenie. I appreciate you joining us. As I mentioned, Chanelle Coleman Wesley will be joining us shortly. But Ari, thank you so much for being on with us. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you for having us, Cyrus, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to you about this opportunity we're having. So thank you so much for having us.
Hey, it's my pleasure. But before we get into that, Ari, I definitely want to talk about this experience for you because both Chanelle and you have been able to use your platforms to be able to motivate and inspire others. What has it been like for you to know that something that could have broke you has definitely helped to lay the foundation to help you help others?
It's been a very humbling experience because definitely nothing that I'm doing in my own strength for sure. So I have a very strong faith and belief in God. And so I definitely feel like he is the one guiding and directing what I'm doing right now and the opportunities that we're able to have right now. So it's been amazing to be able to take what could have been definitely not a great situation or things that, Chanelle has been through a lot. I've been through different things, and to be able to take that and be able to pour what we learned or what we wish someone would have told us back into other women.
Yeah. Chanelle and I have talked about Ari before, and you probably have seen, and our audience have, about her book. She said yes to herself unapologetically. And then, of course, I have here, she said yes to herself unapologetically, Empower Her Guide. And one thing that she and others have talked about on this platform is how they've been able to realize their worth and their value. So I want to ask you, Ari, what has it been like for you to realize your own worth and value in the world?
It's been strategic for me to get to that place because there was a time where I didn't really think I had a lot to offer. I didn't necessarily think I had anything that other people could even benefit from necessarily. So the way that I felt about myself, the self-love and the confidence was not where it needed to be. So once I was able to see that, like, wow, like I didn't just go through stuff for nothing. I went through what I went through to also to be able to help someone else go through it and be somebody else's survival guide. And that has just meant the world to me to be able to help other people.
Yeah. And I think the other side of it too, Ari, and I think our audience can relate to this. Everyone is going through something. And I think so many times we don't talk about what we go through because we say, well, someone else is going through something worse. Have you always felt like, or maybe I should ask you, what has it been like for you to realize that what you deal with is just as important as what anyone else may be encountering in their lives?
It's been really important. I think it's for your mental health. It's important because a lot of times, when you're going through different situations, one of the things that will get you into depression and just those thoughts of that nothing's going to get better is because you think you were like the only one going through those things, which is a normal thought, especially if you're being overwhelmed because there's multiple things happening at one time. Because, normally, when one thing happens and usually another and another, it's usually not, one at a time. It's not usually how life is happening. So life is usually life in groups. So knowing that other people are going through the same thing you're going through or have went through is a great part to keeping you grateful, to helping you understand you're not alone, you're not by yourself. All those things are really important to know.
So true. Hello to you, Antoine. Good to be able to see you. Rhonda, hello to you over on the IG side as well. See you guys over also coming in on YouTube. Appreciate you guys as well. Ari Wells is our guest right now. We're going to be joined here in a bit, hopefully, by Chanelle Coleman Wesley as well, who the two of them have been able to not only use their platforms individually to be able to help inspire and motivate others. But all right, I want to talk about the sisterhood and the connections you've been able to form, because that kind of leads us to what's coming up for Chanelle and you. What has it been like for you to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with others who not only understand what it's like to overcome, but also want to be able to help other people make an impact in their lives?
It's been amazing. There was a time I didn't know if I would ever have those types of relationships with women or with other people, just because of the way life was going at the time, and I was in such a survival mode for a while. And so it's been amazing to not be in that space. Not that life still does a life, but to know that you can have a tribe, and sometimes your tribe is built slowly. It doesn't mean it's always like a huge amount of people all at one time. Sometimes your tribe is built slowly. Sometimes you have to start over, as seasons go and you grow out of one tribe and you may, meet a new one. And so I really feel like Chanelle and I met at a really pivotal time for me, transitioning and kind of just jumping in and like, all right, I got faith. Let's just do this and see what happens. And that's the time that Chanelle and I met. And she's just been such a wonderful encourager and support system, positive mindset. And it helps when you have those around you who are going the same direction as you and have struggles, but are still staying supportive or are just in there with you to figure it out as you're figuring it out too. So it's been great.
When Chanelle told me about you, Ari, and from what I understand, you all are in the same city. You're both in Milwaukee.
We are.
Right? So how did the two of you connect?
So we connected because of America's Supermom, which is Lachelle, is how we connected. Lachelle is in Georgia. So it took me meeting Lachelle on LinkedIn, and then I was meeting different people in Lachelle's network. That's how I met Chanelle, because she was like, "Oh, do you know Chanelle? Because I think she lives somewhere near you." And come to find out, Chanelle and I lived in the same city. So that's how Chanelle and I ended up meeting, and we didn't even know that we were in the same city. So that was pretty awesome.
Chanelle is actually messaging me now. Seems like she is having some tech issues.
Okay.
so
that's how it happens, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make sure that she's on the right link. She says she's backstage, but I think she's on the backstage of another program. Okay. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get her to the right one here. Hey, one of the things about technology, but that leads us to this question then, Ari. What has it been like for you to be able to use social media to connect with people and to expand your message?
It's been good, but I'm going to be honest, I've been a little nervous with using the social media platform because I felt like I was newer to it than some people have been because of me starting out. And so I've been on a learning curve with some of it, with learning what the algorithms look like and, which platforms, and trying to focus on learning one before you try to jump to them all, and just, all the different things that go with that. So I've been a learning curve, but it's been an awesome one. And it's been one that has helped my confidence level too, to speak, to engage with others, to see even some of the support that I get from people that I know. It's been nice. So it really has grown me in ways that I didn't necessarily think social media was going to grow you, because people a lot of times sometimes look at it like such a negative connotation, but when used appropriately, it is amazing.
Yeah. I say that all the time, Ari, that when used responsibly and respectfully, the internet can be an amazing thing. And that's how I've tried to use it now for over a decade. And I encourage people, and I get it, because there is a lot of negativity out there. But I think just like we kind of watch who we let into our homes and who we associate with in real life, we have to do the same thing on social media too. So if you find yourself in a space where everything's negative, you can't remove yourself. That's what I tell people, you have that right to be able to do that. But also it opens doors. And that leads us to one of the things I know Chanelle and you wanted to talk about. And that is the doors that are opening, not just in the States, but beyond. Talk to us about that. What it's been like for you to connect with people internationally and be able to grow your platform that way.
So social media set that stage for Chanelle and I to connect with Lachelle, to deal, to work with her network. Working with her network, we went to Dallas. You interviewed us when we were with Black Women Bossed Up. We were in Dallas. We ended up connecting with another set of ladies that were also connected in that same network, with Lachelle and Zandra and different ones. And so with that, and so we met Jennifer Marcus. And so meeting her, this opportunity came where she was like, you know what? I would love to have you guys come with us. We're going to Africa, South Africa. We're going to be speaking at a conference there. And we all kind of eyes bucked open. We were like, oh my God, like South Africa? It was like, what? So it set the stage just with the networking and being open and just, stepping out on faith. It just really opened up the doors for us to meet new people. And it really is all about collaboration. It really, really is. You get so much further as a group than you do by yourself.
Yeah, such a great fun. Charlie Baker, hello to you. Top Production, good to be able to see you as well. Hello to you, Tina. Good to be able to see you as well. Felicia says it's important we be aware that others go through difficulties we may not know but so we should be kind. That's such a good point. And there is Chanelle right on cue as we're talking about Africa. There is Chanelle. She knows I'm going to fuss at her later, but I'm going to go ahead and bring Chanelle. It's so good to see you. How you doing?
Hi, Cyrus. It's crazy. Technology just wouldn't let me be great today. How's everyone doing? I was watching you guys offline.
Yeah. Well, at least we were saying nice things about you, Chanelle. So yes. Chanelle, go ahead and
y'all don't know Chanelle. Chanelle is amazing. So let me tell you right now.
So Chanelle, we Ari just teed up perfectly about Africa. So what was it like? She was talking about the expression she had when South Africa was mentioned. How did you feel when South Africa was mentioned?
Cyrus, it was just really mind-blowing, very humbling, just an awesome experience. To be able to provide such a conversation on such an important topic is really humbling and just really inspiring in itself. So I was just really excited and motivated.
Mm-hmm. So tell us more, Chanelle, about what's happening in South Africa and how Ari and you will be involved in it.
Well, that's really exciting. We connected with Jennifer Marcus, who's amazing by way of Zandra TV Network and Zandra TV. So thanks so much for Zandra Evans for making that opportunity available to us. Jennifer is one of the producers over at Zandra TV, and Jennifer and Kate end up connecting, and they started talking, and then Kate had an invitation to go to Africa to be able to impact because of the fact that she has angelically blessed, and then Kate made that extension to the rest of us in the Black Women Bossed Up, which was Ari Wells and Nita Newsom and myself. And so from there, we just kind of took it and we were kind of just really ran with it. We were just excited, just, the idea of being able to return, in essence to Africa and to be able to be at the motherland, just a empowering experience.
Yeah. So I want to ask you both of you this next question about expanding your territory, because you all have been able to do great things there in Milwaukee. You've done, as Ari mentioned, she was talking about when I interviewed the two of you last together, was of course in Texas. Now to be going internationally, how does that feel to know that you've been put in a position, Chanelle? I'm going to ask you a similar question, Ari. Put in a position where you can impact lives literally around the world.
Again, Cyrus, is something that's very humbling. It's just really awe-inspiring. It really makes you, own who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, recognizing that you are accountable and you kind of are your brother or your sister's keeper. It just kind of gives me a sense of family, of community. Just being able to be there, to be a support in any type of way is just really impactful to me in my own life.
Love that. Ari, what about for yourself? What has it been like for you to see the way that your territory is expanding and your opportunity to be able to assist and inspire people around the world?
It's really blown my mind. As Chanelle said, it's humbling because I just look and I go, wow, this little girl from the East Coast originally gets, by way of Milwaukee, and then goes to Texas, and then, gets an opportunity based on the network that, circle that we were in at the time, to be able to go help others in another country is just astounding to me how that works. And so it's super humbling. And it's impactful too. I also have like a sense of responsibility because with that comes the responsibility, to whom much is given, much is required. So there's a soberness too with it of like, okay, let's steward this well.
Yeah, such a great point. Has that kind of dawned on you at this point, Ari, the position you've been put in? And then what I mean by that is that you literally are in a place where you can connect with people and be able to benefit people literally without even being in the same room with them.
I don't think it's fully hit me. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely sinking in. The closer that we're getting to time, the more conversations, the more research, because I've just been researching more about the area that we're going to South Africa, because we'll be in Johannesburg, South Africa, speaking at the University of Johannesburg is where the conference is being held. It's a WISA conference is what it's called. And so, that's by way of I think it's the Institution for Pan-African Thought and Conversation. So this is something that is something that has been, it's being used strategically to really try to bring the resources, education, good conversation, thought processes, mindset shifts, whatever it is that is necessary to advance female entrepreneurs in that area.
Love that. What about for yourself, Chanelle? Has it really sunk in for you? Not only the positionings that you've been able to be put in, but also the connection you're making globally.
I have to agree with Ari. Again, it is very sobering. And I think as we're getting closer and closer to the reality of that moment, it definitely is a sense of urgency to make sure that you're going to show up and to show out and to continue to be the impact that you were selected to be. Also, it just really really makes you feel like you need to dig deep and just see what you can do. It's really crazy because sometimes you think you have to be in a specific room to meet people or to make a change. But you can literally change lives and never even have physically met. Sometimes you have some of the greatest connections with people who you never really truly laid eyes on. It's just been something that you've connected with on screen. Like you and I, Cyrus. I haven't actually physically met you yet, but you've definitely impacted my life, even though we haven't physically met yet.
Yeah, I totally feel the same way. So, Chanelle, I didn't get a chance to ask you about this earlier, but I want to ask you what I had talked to Ari about in the beginning, and that was the connection between your book, She Said Yes to Herself, Unapologetically, as well as, of course, the guide. How much of this is because of your saying yes to yourself? And it goes back to, I think, what Ari and I talked about earlier about worth and realizing your self-worth. I mean, because I don't think, based on our previous conversation, Chanelle, you would have always felt worthy of where you are now. So what has it been like for you now to be able to not only to say yes to yourself, but also to better yourself?
Cyrus, I think it's like I said, it's crazy. Sometimes it's like, too good to be true. I think when you are doing things, you never really understand fully the ripple effects that are going to happen. Like this one thing is going to, just really kind of erupt the tsunami of things that are going to happen after the fact of those things. And so when you're making certain moves or you refuse to make certain moves, you don't realize the impact that those decisions or your failure to make a decision, how it's going to have far-reaching results. So if you'd have asked me when I was first penning She Said Yes to Herself, if I thought we would be having this conversation, if I thought we were getting ready to go to, I would be like, what? Are you serious? Like, nah, because you just don't think those things can happen, but it truly does take those little moves that just really kind of push you into bigger moves.
Yeah. So, Chanelle, let our audience know what are the dates of the trip to Africa, and how can they be involved and support you guys in this new endeavor?
Oh, great. Well, we're leaving Milwaukee August 24th. We're really excited about that. We're going to be in the beautiful city of Johannesburg, Africa. We're going to actually leave there. Ari, correct me if I'm right, and go to Cape Town on the 31st?
30th.
30th. Okay, 30th.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be over in Cape Town for a little bit before we'll fly out on the 1st of September. So we're going to be there from August 24th to September 1st. And we're really excited about this opportunity. And again, one of the things people can do is pray. We definitely need your prayers. We definitely want to make certain that when we are going, that we are going to be great representations of what Christ would have us to be. Also, that we will represent our brands and things well, that we will make an impact. The things that we would do there will just touch lives, and that the people who we have opportunity to connect with, their lives will have that ripple effect, and they won't be where they were 6 months after we met them as well. People can do that through prayer. They can do that also through sponsorship. They can send some supplies over. We really want to make a big impact while we're there. We want to be able to touch lives in the community. I'm going to let Ari pick up from here because she has a couple of things up her sleeve that I know she is just excited to talk about. So Ari, take it away.
So if you want to get in on what we are doing here, I am currently, I've reached out to a connection of mine that does a lot of missions work over in South Africa. She's currently in South Africa right now, so I'm waiting on her to get back in touch with me when she returns back stateside to let us know what specific organizations there that she would recommend for us to be able to take supplies and do different things with. If you don't know if you would want to send specific supplies, if you wanted to send some type of a monetary donation, we do have a Cash App set up. That's Levels of Freedom 24, and that's on Cash App, and you will be able to find that. That's something that I could give Cyrus at a later date. But outside of that, right now, those are the two major things. And like Chanelle said, prayer is the first one. Just praying that, we are able to go over there and do what God's asked us to do. We're stepping out on faith, going, international with this, in a room with those who are making decisions that will help impact these women's lives in some of not just the city of Johannesburg, but some of the outskirts, the outer areas of the city that also were affected dramatically by the apartheid that was there.
Love that. All right. Well, great work you two are doing. And so glad we could have you on to be able to talk about it. Again, everyone, Ari Wells, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, talking with us not only about how they've been able to use their own individual brands to impact people that they've been able to meet in person, but also the global impact now that they're making as well. Ari, let our viewers know, how can they stay connected with you, as well as, of course, how can they, again, find out more information?
Biggest way to stay connected with me right now is going to be my Facebook page. If you keep an eye on that, you will see everything else. It is Facebook page, Ari Wells. That is where everything is going. I am concentrated on that one at this time. One at a time, people, is where I'm at right now. So that's where you can find me at. But you can also find me on LinkedIn. Same thing under Ari Wells also. And you can message me, private message me, if you would like to know how you can get additional information.
Awesome. We'll make sure we tag you on LinkedIn as well. All right. Thank you for that. Chanelle Coleman Wesley.
Well, sorry, I want to thank you.
With you.
I was going to say, I want to thank you so much for opening up your platform for us. I really, truly appreciate it. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I'm glad I was here. People can stay connected with me, Chanelle Coleman Wesley, across all social, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
All right, so make sure you guys stay connected with the two of them. Again, everyone, Chanelle Coleman Wesley and Ari Wells talking with us about how they've been able to use their platforms for good, but also, of course, the global impact they've been to make. Hey, Natasha, good to be able to see you. Appreciate you being with us as well. I think it's pronounced Venuskian. I probably got that wrong, but I think that's right. And Jen, hello to you. Good to see you over there on the IG. And thanks to all of you joining us also on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. I appreciate you guys being with us. We'll make sure that we do link that information up that Ari gave us with this conversation. For those tuning in on Facebook, we've already tagged both Ari and Chanelle with this conversation as well. We'll make sure we do the same thing on LinkedIn. You guys are already, we have you guys tagged on X as well. Chanelle, got you over there. And definitely, of course, for you guys tuning in on IG, we'll make sure that you guys are tagged there as well. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot for joining us for Cyrus Webb Presents.